Man, welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty podcast. Back at it again, talking about the fake stuff, but switching it up. We're going gambling tonight. Crabman, what's going on, man?
Shit, nothing much. Just enjoying this cold weather out here. Starting to feel like football, and I'm excited to get on this gambling with you. I've been listening to it every week, and sometimes we hot, sometimes we're not. So I'm ready to get into it.
What you call it, man? Pretty much every week. We really wanted to get our gambling content out, so every week I'll go solo, and I'll put every bet in our descriptions and stuff like that. Tonight, Craftman's hopping on with me, and we're going to get it out to you Wednesday night. And I don't think we got as many bets placed, but we still got, we got a few game lines, got some over and unders. Chris couldn't get us his bets in time, but I'll be posting them and stuff anyway. But yeah, man, same old. Week 8. But I think last week was the first week I had a losing week on the game lines. I've been hot in the game lines all week. I think Phil may have had a losing. We may have all had a losing record last week. But what I noticed is the public, they did real good last week. So it just shows where what me and Phil be doing. We be betting with Vegas a lot.
Yeah, I know Phil does. I can just see Phil over there, just conspiracy theorist. He probably just looks at where the public money's going and just, nope, not doing it. Especially if it's like high, like 75%, 80%. That's the way Vegas does. I feel like they try to make people get a little winning week every now and again so that they'll keep coming back, not just leave completely.
Man, no doubt about it. But other than that, let's just go ahead, man. I'll just go ahead and say, bring it up. Week 6, had a bad week on the over and unders last week, but that's because your boy Matt Ham bringing you down a little bit. Because I know that parlay I had was like 1 for 4. I know the Craft Manager just straight up hit 4 straight. I'm looking at it right now. So Craftman killing it. He won some money. Wow, we did not. I think Noah. Shout out to Noah Dick Blower. I think he might have had a little tough one too last week, right?
Yeah, that was one we all kind of did together. So I'll put my name on that one too. We were talking about it and kind of threw it in together. I don't want to throw it all off on him, but he did enter it into the prize pick. So if you want to just throw it off on him, it's all his fault.
Man, come on, NDB. Break it down to percentage. So game lines 57%, over and under 47%. Hey, it is what it is. We'll get it up above 50. In all honesty, 47% really ain't bad in the gambling world. But
no, it's not bad. 57% is good, but that 47, that's going to come up. We're going to get it. We're going to get it together.
Yeah, that 57%, I would like to get that up to 60. If we got that above 60, people need to really start listening to us for real. Make that money.
No doubt.
Real quick though, Craft man. Let's just go over it real quick, man. Davante Adams traded to the Jets. Everybody was saying it. Everybody kept on saying it. I'll be honest, man. I guess I need to start lightening it up a little bit because growing up, I always said, man, the NFL is not the NBA. Like, these dudes are not getting traded. They're not going to free agency. All that stuff, it just don't happen. But now it really is starting to happen a little bit these days. So Davante Adams headed on to New York. Fantasy implications? Go for it, Craft man.
Well, I mean, I got Davante Adams in a couple leagues, and I'm very happy that he got the hell out of Vegas. But as far as it goes in New York, I think he's just going to pick right up where he left off with Rodgers because he's played with Nathaniel Hackett as the offensive coordinator, played with Rodgers so many years. So I think you can play him right off the bat. Like, I'm playing him this week. And I think he's going to be a low-end, like, wide receiver 1 for the rest of the season. And the main implication to me is, well, there's the Raiders side of the ball, which means Brock Bowers is going to get even more. He was already super hot as the season was going. Right. Tight end 1, tight end 2 in different formats. So he's going to keep eating. Jacoby Myers might might get a little more, but still not really high on him. And then for the Jets, it's really Garrett Wilson. Do you think this is terrible for him, like the roof is falling, or do you think it's like it could be just as good?
The upside is over with. The upside, like tier 2, top of tier 2 in your dynasty rankings and stuff like that. Man, I don't think that's happening. Not this year. And probably not next year. I mean, I don't know what the contracts. I mean, I'm just saying. I just think his upside's a little cap. I think his floor might be up a little bit, though. This might help him out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It might not be all that bad. Being the number 2 guy with Aaron Rodgers, he'll probably be open a little bit more. Everybody knows Rodgers is going to be wanting to target Davante Adams, so it's definitely not doom and gloom. Hey, it's not doom and gloom like I was saying on the podcast the other day, Craftman, where I was like saying, just sell his ass. Just get rid of him. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. But the top side, the upside, I think that's kind of done with it right now.
It makes it a little hard to sell him right now anyway, so it's more of a hold situation in Dynasty than to go sell him. I mean, you might can try to go buy him off of this news, but you know, he should be fine. Like you said, he's not going to be getting double covered all the time. He's going to be facing like the second cornerback on the team. And I think Garrett Wilson's good enough to, you know, get open on his own. And when he doesn't, if he's not the focal point of that offense, it might be a good thing for him. But like you said, as far as like the complete upside goes, I mean, there's definitely situations that could have been better. They could have brought in somebody who was like a competent wide receiver 2, and he could have still been the 1 to take a little pressure off. But instead, they brought in somebody to be the wide receiver 1 in the offense, and he moves down to the 2.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, it's always good to bring in a weapon. What else? Anything else? Davante Adams, I mean, what do we think about him? His upside, I mean, to me, it just feels like we about to get back to 8, 9, 10 targets all the time, going back to the old school. I wish I had Davante Adams.
Touchdown.
Nothing to do with him. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I think it's going to go back to the old days for real. I mean, he's at the very least, Davante Adams is going to see a healthy amount of targets from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like I said, I think he's right there like wide receiver 10 from here on out or so. And when he was with the Raiders, I mean, you would have been lucky for him to finish as a wide receiver 1 the way things were going, even if he didn't supposedly, you know, pull his hamstring that's miraculously just healed up real quick.
Right.
I think he was in New York like before the news even broke, so he was ready to get with Aaron Rodgers for sure. But what about Amari Cooper, though?
Yeah, I was about to say, another one that went down was Amari Cooper to the Bills. But, I mean, I think you got to be happy if you got Amari Cooper. Like, shoot, man, dang, man. I had literally just sent a trade to Duncan, like, I don't know, last week, 2 weeks ago, trying to get Amari Cooper. And that was he was with the Browns, but I really wish I had him when he was with Buffalo. I mean, I think this, I don't know. I'm just wondering what it does for Keon Coleman, really. I mean, is it just done with for him for this year? But I don't know. It might be all right for him, too, maybe. We'll see. But I think Amari Cooper, though, about to explode with, well, what was he doing already? I mean, where was he at? He's, wide receiver, 38? What is he, Craftman? Do you know?
Yeah, he was way down there. But while I looked that up, I mean, the Bills last year brought in Joe Brady at the end of the year, and they did have Stephon Diggs, and they did have Gabe Davis, and both of them guys were not producing. So I would say to temper your expectations a little bit about Amari Cooper. They're still going to try to run the ball, and they're the slowest offense in the NFL. They run the least amount of plays in the whole NFL. And it seems like they're trying to limit Josh Allen. Josh Allen's like, he makes dumb decisions sometimes. He threw a lot of interceptions last year. I don't think Josh Allen even has an interception this year. So they're playing a lot more safe. They're running the ball. So I think Amari Cooper is definitely better for him to be there. But you were almost right on it. Amari Cooper was wide receiver 39 this year.
Yeah.
What do you think he from here on out, where do you think like he slots in? Probably like wide receiver 20.
Yeah, like he's in that wide receiver 2 range, and definitely, like I said in that trade for episode, like he's definitely a vet. I wish I had him like some dynasty teams that I could put in my flex spots and go win championships. I mean, I feel good about. You got to feel better about Amari Cooper than Calvin Ridley or some veterans out there that you could snag. Like, I mean, this one ain't as obviously. I'd rather have Devonte Adams in that situation with what's going down, but it's gonna be. I think this will be good for Amari Cooper.
What does it do to Kincaid? Kincaid really hasn't even been producing anyway. Do you think Kincaid just isn't like that good? Like if he's just another tight end?
I just think all tight ends are just another tight end. Even Sam Laporta. I'm just starting to think the only tight end for real, man. This is what I know. We on a gambling episode tonight. We're gonna dive in, but the only tight end I want is Evan Ingram. I'm just being honest. That dude right there, he's the only one. I could care less about any of them. I got no Evan Ingram though, none. But that dude comes in and gets like 10. He gets like 10 targets. Yeah, I got Mcbride. Mcbride actually doing something. He's actually one of the top guys that could do a little something. But another tight end. But I mean, hey, I would never panic or nothing like that on Dalton Kincaid. I mean, maybe the offense gets better and they got more scoring opportunities. It'll go all good. That's all I can say.
I mean, he's got to get in the end zone. I don't think Kincaid scored a touchdown all season.
Yeah,
he's been kind of killing me.
Yeah, I heard that. All right, well, shoot, crap, man. Let's just hop in the game and listen. We got bets. I ain't got a full slate, and I'll just rattle them off. But me and Kraft, we're gonna talk a little strategy tonight, a little bit what we're looking for, and I'm gonna, say some things about, what me and the poor man talk about. Pretty much say it all the time, anyways. But Kraft, man, they always get on these over and unders and stuff like that. Heck, I've been kind of getting exposed to DFS. I've been bringing up. I got a homie at work. I've been looking what he does, and he's real big into DFS. I'm like, damn, I've just never been into DFS like that. You know what I'm saying? But some people fucking love that shit. And I be seeing the lineups they put in. I'm like, man, they definitely good at this. Like, they be putting in some random players. You know what I'm saying? Like, there be some random. Yeah. Those jokers that put in Ray Davis the other night. I mean,
genius.
Pretty good, pretty smooth. I mean, they was making money.
They had to call it. They had to call it early too, with James Cook, being out. So it ended up working out good.
Right. So that is crazy. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and rattle off what the game lines are for the crew this week. Like I say, every bet place will be in the description. Go check it out. I got 9 game lines for your ass. I got all right, so crap. This week, man, I was looking at. You remember that one week Phil was hitting? It was like he was hitting a lot of unders, over and unders, a lot of over and under bets. Well, that's me this week. I got 3 of them this week, and that's probably more than I've done all year, except for maybe hitting some unders. But I took some overs this week. I started looking up some stats about teams that be hitting overs and stuff like that. Well, I seen Baltimore and Tampa Bay. They're both like 5-1 hitting the overs this year. So they're the first game I locked in. A 48.5, Baltimore versus Tampa Bay, and a lot of money was going. See, that's another thing, man, Kraft, man. Some of these lines, I wasn't going with Vegas this week. There was like 89% of the money going on the over, so I was like, okay, got to catch that one real quick because that one's about to get bet up. That one's going to get to 49.5. So I hit it real quick. So Baltimore versus Tampa Bay. Another one where the teams were up like that happened to be going against each other. Seattle versus Atlanta hitting the over. So I took them at 51. Man, crap, man. Let me show you. Hear me out. I saw a dude post a video of the right tackle for Seattle, and he was like, I think this dude's playing double agent. Man, I'm telling you, bro. If there was ever like video evidence of some shit where this dude's clearly shaving points or
oh my God,
doing that shit, man, the right tackle for Seattle. I mean, that shit was so obvious, man. That joker was so bad. so bad. And then I looked at the stats, or I didn't look at the stats. He brought them up. He's allowed like 38 pressures, QB pressures, and like the second most was like 17.
Holy crap!
Yeah, bro. I was like, damn, that's crazy. But
Let me
I
get his
hate
ass off the field.
Man, what? It looks so bad, but yeah, Seattle versus Atlanta, 51. Now I took the over on Green Bay and Houston. I don't even know why. I didn't really have no logic. I just thought this one was one that'll get bet up, and I like Green Bay's offense, so pretty much I just went with that. Then Phil Atlanta -3, and then I went the under on Miami and the Colts because I was thinking that A-Rich was going to come back, and I saw it at 44, and I was like, I feel like this is at the Joe Flacco line. I could be wrong, could be all the way wrong, but I don't know. So I went ahead and hit that, and then I saw today Anthony Richardson in the game. So I was like, okay, I'll go because Miami still got what's his face? What's their quarterback? The backup,
Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, Huntley. He's up in there. Now I went Cincinnati -6.5 versus Cleveland. Detroit +2 versus Minnesota. We got Denver -3 versus New Orleans. Listen, that's a Philip White bet right there. That's Phil's. Phil's starting to get a little curious about Denver. Going to start testing them out a little bit. I tested them out last week and lost. I think Phil might check it out. He's checking them out a little bit. And then Philly -3 versus New York Giants. And I'm curious about the Giants personally. I want to see what this game looks like. Philly versus New York. But Phil's got the.
They've seemed like they've been all right.
Yeah.
Like their defense seems like they've been all right.
That's the thing about one thing I've learned. You learn about gambling is like there's real football and then there's gambling football too, and there's fake football, which we talk about all the time. But there's gambling football too, and there's teams that you got to find out. You got to figure out if they're legit to keep betting on. You know what I'm saying? Like one team I wanted to test out a couple weeks ago, the Cardinals. Okay, dude, the Cardinals, they're not reliable. You can't put no money on them. You can't put them to hit the overs. You can't put them to hit cover spreads. You can't rely on that shit. So you got to find these teams that are reliable. I know Denver's like, they're 3-3. I mean, I just want to see what the Giants do versus Philly. Stuff like that. Trying to find, like the Vikings, they're a legit team to bet on. You know, I was skeptical for a couple weeks. Chris hit on them a couple weeks earlier. Then I started following Chris, and then I'm hitting Minnesota. That's how you got to hit these things, man. You know what I'm saying, Kraft, man?
Yeah, I feel like the Bucs have been that for us, too. We had that 1 week where they lost to Denver that killed us. But other than that, I think we've been hitting pretty hard on the Bucs. And that Minnesota thing, I don't know. I got 2 lines that you didn't mention. I didn't send them to you, but I only had 2 lines this week, and it was that the Lions win that game. So the Lions money line against Minnesota, and then I got the Bengals covering 5.5 against the Browns.
I'm locking you in.
I think the Bengals are on the rise a little bit.
Yep.
And the Browns are just
in
shambles.
I'm all right. I'm gonna get you in for 5.5 on that Cincinnati one, right? I caught him at 6.5. I knew I should have hit that one earlier, man. That joint went
It
fast.
dropped as the day went along. Like I was looking at it early in the day, and then late in the day, it dropped to 5.5.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, let me double check it. But I was looking at it earlier today, and then it ended up dropping. Yeah, it's at 5.5 right now.
Well, dang. Well, there you go. That's one time where you go early, and because I would much rather have 5.5. All right. Oh well, you win on that one, Kraft, man. You took the line at a good time. I wonder if that's gonna get bet up even more, man. What if that goes to 5? Could be.
The Browns can't. I don't know. All right, well, we'll see. We'll see on that one.
I don't know. It's just a shit show, man. Anything else you want to say about these game lines? Poor man P. Miller, if you want to do what he does, he likes to bet against. He just likes to bet against the public. He likes to put money on Vegas. And I'm with him. I like to do it too. You gotta look at that shit. But
It definitely works out a lot. I mean, if you're looking for a bet tomorrow, I don't know if you'll agree with this. It's not something I feel super comfortable about, but I do like the under for the Broncos and the Saints at 37.5. The Saints have absolutely nobody. I mean, when Bub Means is your best wide receiver, and they both have good defenses, I don't know how many points can possibly happen in this game unless a pick six occurs. That's the only way that game is hitting the over is if the defense is score tomorrow.
Yeah. What you call it? That was one I was eyeing on the under. Spencer Rattler, and then Bo Nix being a rookie going to New Orleans. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be loud up in there. So, all right. Well, shoot, I got some over and unders. I ain't got too many. I only got Craftman and Noah Dick Blower locked in. Shout out to Noah Dick Blower. About to text him back because he sent them. I ain't even texted him the past couple weeks. He just been sending them to me. So I definitely appreciate Noah Dick Blower getting me his bets for the week. Who's am I looking at right here? Joe Mixon. You got Joe Mixon in your lineup, Craftman?
Yeah, that one's mine.
Go ahead, rattle it off for us then.
All right. Unfortunately, I got Joe Mixon in there scoring a touchdown against the Packers. Weirdly, it was one of them higher payouts if he does score a rushing or receiving touchdown. So I felt like I just had to hit on that. And I like his rushing yards this week too. It's like 60.5. But I got Joe Mixon. I got the under on Jayden Daniels rushing yards at 48.5 against the Panthers. The over 66.5 for DK Metcalf. That game, like you said, it has like a 51 over and under. And Seahawks they're like the fastest offense in the NFL. So whatever they do is going to be quick. And one reason I like that line is because Atlanta they're the worst in the league at getting pressure on the quarterback. So the more time Geno has back there, the deeper DK can get down the field. So I like that one. And then I got Devonte Smith at 57.5, over 57.5 against the Giants. He's hit that every single week since the beginning of the season. So,
yeah. Dude,
but talk to me real quick about the Jayden Daniels one. Under 48.5 rushing.
Honestly, when you placed that bet, I was thinking you just think they're going to be beating the shit out of Carolina. and
handing the ball off, baby.
Yeah, that makes me want to go look at some Brian Robinson. Is he in the lineup this week? I think he missed last week, right?
Yeah, he's still questionable right now, but I don't know. It could come back to bite me. I don't take a whole lot of unders. I took one last week that worked, but the Panthers can't really get pressure neither, so I don't know if Jayden's going to be, looking to run a lot. So he might just be comfortable back there in that pocket, just picking them apart.
Well, crap, man, tell me what the hell you and NDB, when y'all talk about these things, what's something y'all look for, man? Like, y'all just look at them all and it just catches your eye, or?
Well, shoot, I mean, a lot of times you get to overthinking it, and I mean, last week when I won, I really it was the first thing I saw, and I was like, all right, it's first instinct of thinking about it, and like I just explained to you, like, you got to think about how the game's going to go, and I like to do some math in my head, like how many carries do you think this running back's going to get? What does he average? Like, if his rushing line is at 60 and you think he's going to get, 18 touches or 18 carries, like, he got to average, 3.5, 4 yards a carry. So I think about that kind of stuff and think about what the game script's going to be like, because that's what Vegas is doing. They're thinking about, what the game script is. And like you said earlier, we like to bet early in the week, like Wednesday, Thursday. There's not as many players on there, but just today, we looked at it this morning, and Joe Mixon's rushing line was at 58.5, and now it's at 62.5 just in a couple hours. So
Right.
the public's betting it up so fast, and everybody likes to bet on the overs, so you can pretty much, unless there's just something that catches the public's eye where it's like, oh, that's an obvious under. Most of the lines are going to go up as the week goes. And last week, like that Jahmyr Gibbs one, I caught it at 58.5, and it got bet up to 63.5. Jahmyr Gibbs had 63 rushing yards. If I would have waited a couple days, I'd have been out $200.
Right. Yeah.
So
We had brought it up. Heck, I think we said it at the just was casually talking about it at the end of that last episode, like on those over and unders on underdogs. Early in the week, bet over. Later in the week, if you want to hit your unders, hit your unders. I do agree with that.
there are things that I like to stay away from too, though. On like Prize Picks, there's a lot of things that I like to stay away from, which is like I don't like passing yards. I'd never do anything with passing yards. The 2 times I did it, I had a discount on it, and I still didn't get it because they were doing a promo. Still didn't get it, but passing yards is just weird, man. Like I can't get with it. I don't usually do those, and like I usually stay with the yards, rushing and receiving, and touchdowns. And there's only a couple receivers I bet for a touchdown, but they're usually running backs because I just feel like running backs have a better chance of getting in the end zone than wide receivers, unless you're a guy like Mike Evans or something like that.
Yeah.
Matt, it looks like I lost you for a second. You froze over there, but I can still hear you.
Yeah, I was about to say, I could tell my connection's bad tonight. I'm looking at it right there. But if you can hear me, we'll just keep it rolling. And then we'll end it. Heck, I got right here Noah Dick Blowers. I got his over and unders, and he's got, let's see, 3. So you sent me 4, and then I got NDB's 3. He's got J.K. Dobbins over 73.5 rushing yards. Jayden Reed over 58.5 receiving yards. Trey McBride over 57.5 receiving yards. I like the Trey McBride one. I think there was heck, I like them all. I really been hit. Yeah, I was about to say I've been hitting Jayden Reed a lot this year. It didn't work out last week, but I've been hitting on him a lot. So but Trey McBride, I like it. I've never liked to really bet on tight ends. Hey, that's one thing I like to avoid, tight ends shit. I just don't even like it. I mean, dang, man. Crap, I forgot. On whatever day, Monday Night Football, I put the over on Conklin hitting 25 yards and missed it. I hit on every other one of the bets. And one of them was like Keon Coleman under X amount of yards. And I was like, man, come on, Conklin.
20-something yards, all that man needed.
Makes no sense.
All right, you're back, Matt. I can see you.
Yeah. All right. Well, shoot, Craft, man. Listen, there ain't nothing left to do. I might as well just wrap it on up. We having a little. I do
have a DFS tonight.
Mass.
I got one DFS line up. All right, and one thing that I'm sure Chris will tell you, and that I tell you about DFS, not a lot of people think of this, but I like to do, if you do one early in the week, I like to do Thursday through Monday, especially if I hate the Thursday night game and I don't want any players in it, because I can't tell you how many times you get on that and people will just put 4 or 5 players in the same game just because they want to watch it. So you'll have, like, say you're playing in a group with 100 people, there'll be 5 to 10 people that have Javonte Williams, Alvin Kamara, Bo Nix, like all these guys, because they're not patient enough to wait for Sunday. And then you just go ahead and get a leg up because that game's going to be a stinker and ain't nobody going to score. So I like to do that. I like to do that kind of crap.
Yeah, I like that.
So that's just like a little bit of piece of advice. If you don't like the Thursday game, because people, they ain't patient, and they'll just put people in.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying,
I hear you, Crap.
Matt?
Yeah. I see. I see what you're saying, man. Well, go ahead and toss us your lineup.
Hey, well, at quarterback, I went with Kirk Cousins last week. I'm gonna roll with Kirk Cousins again, going against Seattle, high over under. And then at running back, I got J.K. Dobbins going against Arizona, Chuba Hubbard against Washington, and then I got D.K. against Atlanta. Malik Neighbors coming back from the concussion. My cheap play, Demario Douglas going against Jacksonville and London. And rolling with Mark Andrews at tight end, my dog. That sucks ass.
Yeah.
And Tank Dell against Green Bay, and then the Vikings defense against Detroit.
Yeah. I like that one. Mark Andrews, I like that he's in your DFS lineup because me and you are starting him in our league that we're in together because old Jake Berg being on a bye. So we need that motherfucker to do something.
Yeah, he's going to have to do something. I mean, I'm hoping. He's still on. I looked at his snap percentages yesterday or earlier today, and he's still like 60. He had a couple games like 40%, 50%, 60%. Like, he's not on the field all the time like he used to be. So it's still a little scary.
Yep, I heard that. Yeah, crap, man. I'm glad you brought a DFS lineup tonight because I always read one DFS. And heck, I really like to. That's what I'm saying. One day we're going to be doing these gambling episodes like this. And I'm going to be able to have our people on, and we're going to be doing them every week. One day. In the future, you never know. We'll get Poor Man P. Miller and NDB and Chris, and we'll really talk gambling and making money, and that'll be a good time. But, what you call it? As of now, we just are trying our best just to get out our gambling content. So everybody, just thanks for listening. It's really I like the gambling part. Hitting the game line is really my favorite thing to do. And I love fantasy football and dynasty and redraft and all that, but I just love to gamble and hit the game lines. I don't know. So we definitely wanted to get our gambling out there, but thanks for listening to it. Craftman, would you like to add anything? If you heard anything I said, me and Craftman having connection issues tonight. Heck, this might be one of them episodes I need to listen to and see if I can even put it out. It might be all choppy. I don't know. Can you hear me, Craftman?
Yeah, I can hear you all right. It was really just your video going in and out. I think the audio should be fine, but we'll check it out anyway before we throw it out there.
Yeah. Well, Craftman, anything you want to say to the good folks out there?
Nah, just good luck this week. Good luck trying to piece together a couple wins, man. It's getting down. There's so many injuries, and with all that junk going on, some bye weeks this week. There's some ugly ass lineups out there. So, yeah. Good luck.
Oh, yep, I'm with it. And we got some good episodes planned for y'all. Gonna have Big Dunk on here soon. Hopefully real soon. I would have hit him up tonight if we weren't all busy and on a run, and then throwing an episode together. Gamble, but I wanted to get the gambling out there. Now I ain't got to go solo tomorrow either. And then we're going to talk some Superflex strategy here soon. Definitely talk, especially quarterbacks. Because I'm in some different leagues. I'm in a couple different leagues. I go real heavy on quarterbacks. And then I'm with the Craft Man. Doing a little kind of a punt. But then we got old Chris in a league going punt of punts. I feel like, rolling Baker and not to say Baker ain't doing his thing. Baker's killing that shit. But Baker and Sam Darnold, you wouldn't be looking at that at the beginning of the year thinking, damn, Chucker got Baker and Sam Darnold. So we definitely about to talk some quarterback strategy. You know what I mean, Crap Man?
Oh, yeah. And I just gained a quarterback. I got Russell Wilson coming up in this thing, son. Let's go.
Man, let's go, man. I'm telling you. But everybody, thanks for listening to the podcast. With that said, we're out.
Peace.